finally, Roland Emmerich wants to be taken seriously as a director and not a demolition expert.
Now, don't be afraid. He still blows some shit up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm excited about a Shakespeare movie that has aliens and the end of the world in it.
No, just Godzilla.
You know what?
Okay, just Godzilla.
Some people would look at this and say, this is so far-fetched and crazy. If an alien popped out somewhere or Godzilla was to come out and say a few verses of Shakespeare, people are like, it all makes sense. It fits right in because I like this movie. I like this movie a lot. And I haven't said anything for a while because first of all, I don't know how many conspiracy theories there are out there about Shakespeare.
There's something like 80 different, entirely complex theories as who else Shakespeare might have been.
Okay, well, see.
Well, isn't there one it was a bunch of different people?
Oh, sure. There's everything.
There's
everything.
But the thing is, for somebody like me who just doesn't give a shit because it doesn't involve aliens or ghosts, I'm like, really? There was conspiracies out there about
except for the one where he was a ghost alien.
Okay. Some people say
I must have missed that one.
He could only have written those sonnets if he was from another planet.
Yeah. And was already dead.
I don't think I ever heard Robert Stack talk about that.
Well, I tell you something, man. First of all, Corey don't read, and second of all, what I do read, if it ain't a conspiracy theory about Dr. Seuss or something like that, then I ain't keeping up with it. Who really did write Green Eggs and Ham?
Doesn't matter.
Were those green eggs and hams, or were they some other color? Who knows?
Dr. Seuss, but who's this Theodore Geisel guy?
How can a fox actually wear socks while in a box? We will investigate this later.
I just want to know what drugs they were on. That's
You're waiting for the Geraldo episode. Yeah. We take a look into the truth.
We will see if this fox really is in this box. Wait, there's nothing?
there ain't shit.
But man, that's what this is about. I don't know how many conspiracy theories there are out there. I don't know what they consist of. And really, I don't care because looking at this, I can tell you, this is fucking crazy. I know that this is that whatever. I'm not that stupid to walk in here is like, well, this is the truth.
It's a Roland Emmerich film in that it's entirely far-fetched. It plays fast and loose with the facts and with history. It could not happen the way it's detailed here. In fact, it's a fact that it did not. But who gives a shit? It's not as blatantly obvious as the stuff that we have touchstones for with computer probably couldn't dial into an alien ship's computer system, even if it is an Apple.
You know what? Well, call me a moron because I was believing every bit of it, every ounce of it. I was like, this shit makes too much sense.
I need to go buy some Shakespeare books so I can burn them. He was a fraud.
The only thing that didn't make any sense, which probably would have been an even better movie, which I'm looking forward to the sequel, is how in the fuck did Roland Emmerich fucking direct this? Because really, he directed this? Because this is beyond and above anything he's ever done as far as where I was not sitting there going, okay, wow, did this motherfucker just steal somebody's film and throw his name on it?
That's what I'm impressed with here. We're used to him doing spectacle. He has blown up buildings. He has blown up landmarks. He has blown up spaceships. He has blown up monsters. And
he's
now
blown
here,
up pop icons by fucking them up.
Oh yeah, now with this he just
froze the world.
Well, yeah, with this he has frozen the world. He's blown. But we know him for blowing things up. And here the thing he does is he just blown a story out of proportion.
Right. True. It's still marvelous spectacle though. The thing is about it, he's using probably just as much CG as he did in those movies.
Yes.
Except you don't realize it because it's all about recreating this area of Stratford-on-Avon, around the Globe Theater and this whole, you see it from above and you're like, wow, that looks totally fucking real. Obviously, England doesn't look like that anymore.
No.
But yeah, there's lots of really sweeping camera shots showing, old England, and it all looks real, but no, it's all computerized.
Well, see, I think that a lot of people are just being unfair against this film.
No, I
because
agree.
I've read some things about it, and first, I don't think people want to give Roland Emmerich a chance. Granted, the guy
give Roland a chance.
Just get off his back, man. The brother's trying. Cut him some slack.
The guy's only fucked up about once, twice, 3 times a lady.
Look, I hate his films as much as anybody else. If I don't hate him, I look at him as comedic fun. They're silly to the point where they're comedies. And here, the guy just like, I mean, maybe he's made too much of a jump. Instead of just going straight to dramas, he's like, I'm going to a Shakespearean drama. I was like, man, maybe you should have stopped that go or something.
Does it tell you anything that Roland Emmerich said about this? Dude, I've never even read a Shakespeare play. I don't even like Shakespeare. I mean, I've enjoyed some of the movies, kind of, but that's everything I know about Shakespeare.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. Yeah.
Well, no wonder
Are you
this.
serious?
I'm totally serious.
Well, no wonder this movie spoke to me then.
I'm really confused because Corey, you have been telling me you need to see this film. You would like this film.
but-
Everything y'all are saying right now says to me, no, I wouldn't.
Okay, well, look, Shakespeare in Love. I
Okay.
thought that was silly. I myself thought it was silly, it's far-fetched, but it's a good film.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same thing here. I think that people are looking at this and saying, okay, Roland Emmerich directed this, strike one. Strike two, a lot of people are, I mean, they're almost offended that this is approaching Shakespeare as a fraud. And I don't think people should take it that seriously because, like I said, this is, to me, I love it as a period piece. I like period pieces like this. And with CG technology today, I mean, we've made more spectacle out of period pieces. And it's also a costume period piece. So I love looking at all that. But as far as being offended that anybody would judge,
People are getting too
Shakespeare,
carried away.
Well,
with
they
that.
are, and I'm just kind of like,
I
yeah.
understand if you're a Shakespearean scholar, you're a teacher, teaches Shakespeare, you're going to be like, fuck, because just the next 10 years of know-it-all students coming in going, well, from what I hear, look, shut up. Shakespeare was Shakespeare.
Or the dumbass student who would be me going, well, I saw this movie the other day that completely like fucks up everything you're telling me because apparently this motherfucker didn't even write this shit. Why am I learning it?
Yeah, some people are getting way defensive over this, and to me, looking at this and people getting mad about it are like, people who are physicists and astrologists and all, and they look up at Star Wars and say, well, that could never exist. A galaxy far, far away, that galaxy would never exist. I mean, it's like that's ridiculous.
I mean, we look, we
kinda
just
different.
we just had the Three Musketeers come out and just take a big shit over Alexander Dumas's work, and it wasn't that long ago. I mean, we just now getting over what Baz Luhrmann did to Romeo and Juliet. So now you got Shakespeare like he's a fraud and it's overblown.
What?
I haven't seen this, but I'm offended.
But
Apparently, you're the only person who feels we need to get over Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet because it got rave reviews from the rest of the world. So
the rest of the world,
sorry.
and the rest of the world is dumb.
And you
That's
came
the
out,
problem.
and let's keep in mind, when I saw you come out of Shakespeare in Love, your first words to me were, "I've seen a perfect movie."
Yeah.
And I thought when I saw this, I wasn't along that bandwagon. I was like, it's good, but this is fucking ridiculous. And
I
that's
love
what
that
this
movie
is.
too.
And so
It's playful.
Yeah, and that's what I think that this movie, where that movie's playful, this movie probably is a little more dirty because it's nothing but a soap opera.
Well,
That's all it is.
It totally is. And it's trying to play up the melodrama that is inherent in Shakespeare's works to a certain extent because you got all kinds of intrigue and backstabbing and incest and crazy shit going on that either is a soap opera or it's Shakespeare. It depends on how well it's written.
Yeah, it's
Well, it plays it out to where it makes sense about the person who's writing it. I mean, you start to see all the crossovers, especially in the work he starts to do later on while he's involved in this scandal of just crazy shit just popping up, and I'm like, okay, well, I like how they kind of intertwined all that stuff to where I'm like, okay, this stuff is reminding me of Hamlet. This stuff is reminding me of, another fucking work I never gave a shit about. And, but the thing is, the thing about this film though, is that even though it's Roland Emmerich, I mean, to me, it seemed like this guy had something to prove with this film. It's like, look, I can't direct a movie, okay? I can direct actors because, wow, you talk about the acting, the performances, even the story where I was waiting really to just get completely bored by the storyline because that's a thing with these types of movies. They take themselves way too fucking serious where somebody's like so deep into the material that they lose the casual audience member, which is me. And I was just surprised, like sitting there going, wow, I'm really fucking intrigued by this entire story and these performances are blowing me away.
Yeah,
No, you're not wrong at all. In fact, he wears it on his sleeve because so much of that film takes place among, the rabble at the theater and from their point of view of like the people who are taken up with this as populist entertainment, the films of Shakespeare. And he is, embarrassing as that is, trying to draw a line between himself and Shakespeare, saying like, no, you don't understand at the time. This was like crowd pleasing stuff. This was stuff that the snotty people all looked down on, but like the crowds are like, this is genius. And they were all motivated. And that gets a little cloying when you think think about it, but it's still he's trying to entertain everyone.
Yeah,
and you got to give him points for that because he does a pretty good job at that.
Yeah, I mean, I like the story here. I mean, I don't understand a lot of people who say it's confusing. I mean, seriously, a person like me who would normally get lost in something like this understood every bit of it. Maybe I'm a sleaze myself. You know, when they can put Shakespeare to me when it's like some sleazy TMZ type shit.
I was
I'm
not
like,
confused
okay.
because wow, I can look at that person and go, "You dumbass."
Yeah, and the
Looking
story
at you,
is,
Leon, you dummy.
Yeah. and it's cool because I mean the story here is that it's during the Elizabethan era and it's during the times of the Puritan beliefs, and I mean they just said, look, if you have any creativity, devil, you are possessed by the devil, you know, or you are impure. I mean, and so you have Edward de Vere, the 17th Earl of Oxford, who.
Rhys Ifans.
Yes, and he is. Yes, Reese, one of my favorite actors.
Your favorite
you
actor?
know, I love that guy.
I saw him in the trailer. I'm like, oh, Corey's gonna be all over this.
I did. Yeah, hey man, this movie has a lot of stuff I like, and Rhys Ifans is a guy that he's a Welsh actor, and I love that guy.
You love those actors who look like they might actually be crazy in real life.
But he's really good here, man. I mean, if you don't like this movie, you can at least like the way he plays. The 17th Earl of Oxford, you can appreciate how he plays a role here because he has a very regal way of playing this, and he has a very suppressed, angry way of playing this too because he is, in this movie, a literary genius, but because of his position, he cannot put his writings out there. His writings are seen on pure kind of, they would cause trouble. They would cause rebellions,
They're
stuff.
intended to, too.
And they are, yeah.
He wants to say things politically. He realizes how much the plays in this world are affecting the general populace, the mob, as they call it. He realizes how powerful of a force that is for change, and he decides he's going to start doing something about it by writing things like representing characters in his play to obviously represent people who are in the court. Yeah. And of course, he can't put it out there, so he finds a front man for him. He finds Ben Jonson to do this. And when Ben Jonson messes that up, because Ben Jonson is in